Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Kim Danke, and I am the fast track instructor for Shibboleth. I'm so glad that you are here. I always give everybody until 8:03 to get logged in to Zoom. So I'm going to give us that time. While we are doing that, I'm also going to share this to the Shibboleth new member fast track group. But during that time, if you will, look at your chat feature and set the chat to all panelists and attendees, okay? And then we will get started. Please tell me if you are new, where you're from, well, new or refresh, and where you're from, okay? I would love to know that bit of information. Hey, Jackie, I see you on there. Okay. All right. Got to find one more thing. I'm wearing a hat because I didn't fix my hair this morning. And sometimes you just have to do that, put a hat on. Okay, so let's see. Hey, Janet Gooch. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me start at the top. Hey, Lynn. Hello. How are you? Hey, Missy Thomas, new from Lafayette, Georgia, and Gina, new from Kennesaw. Hey, Anita. Good to see you here tonight from Hiram. Linda Self, new from Temple, Georgia, and Jacqueline from Chatsworth. Welcome. Deborah's here doing a refresher. Got to get back on the wagon. I understand. Hey, Jody from Hiram, new, welcome. You're welcome, Lynn. Glad to help. Glad to help. Hey, Janet Gooch from Denton, Texas. You know, I was look at my earrings, Miss Janet Gooch. I got these on today, my premier earrings. Um, hey, thank you. I'm glad. Anita, I thought that class was really good on Saturday. I was pumped after that. I motivate myself. That's pretty good when you can motivate yourself. Hey, Debbie, glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you got into the Zoom. Hey, Tracy, thank you. Thank you. And Jacqueline, new and officially starting tomorrow. So glad you are. And Debbie's from New Hope, Tennessee. Hey, Kelly Ritz from Murphy. And Christina starting tomorrow. And Yolanda Luna from Dallas. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you're all here. We're going to learn some very important information tonight. Okay. Those of you that are on Facebook, hello. We've got
Robin, hey Robin, back for a refresher. Well, I'm glad you're back. That's awesome. And Jennifer, hey Jennifer. So I'm glad y'all are here. I'll try to look down at Facebook every once in a while and make sure I'm paying attention to y'all too. But I've got my phone charged up and plugged in and all that business. And anyway, I'll try to pay attention to you. Carrie Hickman from Dayton, Tennessee. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight is I am going to share my screen with you. We're going to go over a PowerPoint, okay? And this PowerPoint is really called the Shibboleth Lifestyle Overview, because this is like Shibboleth in a nutshell, because I just want to break down the very concrete things that you can do this coming week to create great success for yourself within the first week. Okay, and then we're going to get into the practice of living this as a lifestyle. But tonight is Shibboleth in a nutshell. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have, and I will be happy to answer those. Please know that this is a two-part webinar series. You'll want to make sure that you register for tomorrow night as well, okay? Because tomorrow night's entire hour is on simple food combining, and we really only touch on that tonight. I think I'm gonna, if you've been watching any videos so far, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but if you have, this will be like a nice little, let me pull it together, and then tomorrow is going to expand it. Okay, so you know how we have to hear things multiple times to get them down. But we're going to go ahead and get started with the basics. I really feel like we need to keep it simple. So my background is I have a master's in elementary education, and I was a teacher and a principal. So I just boil it down to the basics. What do we got to do to be successful? What do we have to do to meet our objectives? Okay. But now, after you finish the fast track week, you're going to want to spend time watching Travis's daily doses. And that is the last step in lap 7, will take you directly to the daily doses. Travis gets into the nitty gritty and the why we need to do this. I'm going to get into how are we going to do this week. Okay. So when I teach this, I like to just teach you the terms that you're going to be using. It's kind of like learning a new little language, and you're going to learn the information, and then you're going to apply the information. All right. So there are two modes in Shibboleth. You are either in weight loss mode or maintenance mode. So if you're taking notes, it's good to take notes, but please don't feel like you have to screenshot these slides, because you will have access to this after. It will be sent out in the Shibboleth new member fast track group, and it's already under the Sunday night webinar as the materials that you could find on the website. So it's already there. So don't feel like you need to screenshot these, but if you're going to do anything, take notes. So there are 3 differences between these two modes. One is simply the number of holidays. We'll talk about what those are in a second. The number of holidays that you can have in a month. 2 is how you eat fruit. I know that sounds funny, but that's a difference between weight loss mode and maintenance mode, and you'll learn why in a little bit. And number 3 is your mindset. You might start Shibboleth with a diet mindset, and I understand that, but we've got to get to this is a lifestyle mindset and get away from a diet mindset. It will benefit you to do that. There are 2 types of Shibboleth days. We're either going to have a perfect day or a holiday. So you know how in the book of Revelation where it says, I wish that you were hot or cold, but you were lukewarm, therefore I spewed you out of my mouth. We're not going to have just okay days. Okay days are the days that got us where we needed to turn things around and go the other way. So we're going to have a perfect day where we're doing right, or we're going to have a holiday where we've made a decision to not do some component of a perfect day. All right. Now, you'll notice my little girl right here. She says, enjoy the holidays. There's no reason to not enjoy the holidays on Shibboleth. They are built into the system to create a sustainable lifestyle. One of the most important things that I want you to know right now is that this is a management system. We've got to be able to manage the decisions that we make each day around food and daily disciplines that are going to help us be healthy. So this is a management system, and these are the parts of the management system.
But when it comes to holidays, never feel guilty and never feel bad about taking a holiday. See, holidays are there for those celebratory reasons, okay? Then you have birthdays and anniversaries and actual holidays. It's just that we don't need to have 365 days of them a year, okay? But we do not call them cheat days because cheating has a negative connotation to it, and we're not cheating. We're having an enjoyable holiday. So, if you joined as a Tiger's Eye member, when you go into your journal, you may see a drop down that comes down of all of these names. You're going to see Perfect Day, Holiday, IMF Day, Divine Day, Lion Day, Shark Day, Tiger 16, Tiger 24, and Tiger 36. I don't mean to blow your mind with saying all of that. This is what I want you to focus on. Perfect day or holiday. That's it. All those other types of days, what you need to know about those is this. Once you have the basics down, once you've got living the Shibboleth lifestyle under your belt, then you can advance in your knowledge. And those are advanced types of days. But before we advance in anything, we've got to take the baby steps. Okay. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to get the foundation down. Because if you don't have the foundation down, the information that you'll learn in those advanced days might not all sit together well. Okay. And you have to be able to advance on those. So right now, perfect day or a holiday, and that's what we focus on in this very first week. So, how many holidays are allowed? When you are in weight loss mode, you can use up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. And once you get to maintenance mode, you can use up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. Now, honestly, though, that also depends on your body and some things going on in your world. But if you'll give yourself in maintenance 18 to 19 truly perfect, not okay, truly perfect days, then you'll be able to have 12 holidays a month. Okay. But now anything that I talk about, since I'm the new member fast track instructor, is just going to be 6 days because I figure we're all here trying to reach some goals, and we're going to start off in weight loss mode so you can utilize up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. A holiday is simply a day where you are not meeting some component of the Shibboleth shield, which we're going to go over shortly. So, how do you have a perfect day? You follow the Shibboleth shield. So, after 2 perfect days, on your third perfect day, your body gets into efficient fat burning, EFB, baby, and that's where we want to be, efficient fat burning. Because I did not know before Shibboleth that I could get my body ready to efficiently burn fat. I thought that burning fat was hard. It's actually not hard if you put all of the components of this together, okay? So after 2 perfect days, when you go in and you journal, you're going to see a green check on your timing chart, see another green check on your timing chart, and on your third perfect day, you're going to see a flame, and that means that you are efficiently burning fat. So there are 5 components to the Shibboleth shield. The shield is supposed to be there to keep you safe. It's there to keep away those fiery darts, and it's there for you to utilize to your benefit. So these are the 5 components: water, journal, combinations, portions, and timing. So water, journal, combinations, portions, and timing. Those are the 5 things that you're going to focus in on the Shibboleth shield. Now, if this helps you in any way, I like to call these 5 things my 5 daily disciplines when it comes to living the Shibboleth lifestyle, the 5 daily disciplines that I follow. And just to kind of give you a little bit of background about me, I thought that I needed to lose 35.5 pounds, and I found Shibboleth, thankfully, and I lost 50 pounds. I was like, well, dang, I didn't know I had 50 pounds to lose, but I'll take it. And that is what I maintain now. I maintain a 50-pound weight loss. So, component number 1 of the Shibboleth shield is water. You want to drink at least a half a gallon of water every single day. That would be 64 ounces. And just to kind of give you a visual, 4 of these would be 64 ounces, all right? But we are shooting for a gallon and working to get towards that gallon. So work on that gallon and everything. And that would be 128 ounces of water, okay? A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste. And we need both of those things to be moving out to efficiently metabolize and burn and flush out fats. So we're going to be doing a lot of normalizing our hydration levels here in that first week. A lot of people have told me, oh, I measure my water. Excuse me. They tell me I drink lots of water. And I said, do you measure it? And they'll say no. And I'll say, can you start measuring it for me? And they go, wow, I had no idea that I was not getting in nearly enough water. So it's very important to get in a minimum of 64 or half a gallon, but be working towards that gallon. Component number 2 of the Shibboleth Shield is to journal your foods. This is huge in the area of behavior modification. So if you eat it, you've got to write it down, okay? You are now a citizen of planet Shibboleth, and it's a great planet to be on, but there are no idle bites on planet Shibboleth, okay? So if you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. And if you hog it, you log it. So everything, write down everything that goes in your mouth. This is the only way for the mentors, which by the way, mentors are your access to help all the time. Okay. They're your access to help. There is a little red button on the bottom of the website that's monitored 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Boom, you can ask a question and you can set up mentor appointments at any time. They're included in your membership. This is a huge value. So you've got to journal, because if you don't journal, there's no way for a mentor to know what you've been eating to be able to help you out. Plus, journaling also helps you learn the lifestyle. It helps you focus and pay attention and not make those accidental mistakes in the beginning. So you've got to journal. And then component number 3 of the Shibboleth Shield is combinations. Combinations are eating in a way that controls insulin. So we're going to eat properly combined meals. We're going to eat in a way that controls that insulin, aka the fat bus. Insulin is the fat bus. Properly combined meals keep away the fat bus. Okay, this is big right here, okay? Because we're going to go over 5 daily disciplines. Only one of them has to do with what you're eating, and this is it, okay? So tomorrow night, the whole hour is on that, so you need to come back tomorrow night as well. And we're going to touch on this tonight too, though. Component number 4 of the Shibboleth Shield is portion control. We're going to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule. And if you're using an 8-inch plate, it's really not that 2-inch rim, it's the center part, okay? But no matter what size plate that you have, your 2 hands, they trump whatever size plate you have, okay? So you're going to move your fingers together. You don't want to be able to see through them. Move them together. Move your thumbs out of the way, and you put your hands together as close as possible, and you cover your food up. You lower your hands down right over your food, not up here. Can't do that. You can't say, I can't see my food up there. You put your hands down over your food. If you can't see your food, you're good to go. Our stomachs really aren't that big, okay? And your stomach may be stretched out right now, and it'll get used to eating smaller amounts, and then you'll feel full when you have done the right portion, okay? You really don't want it any thicker than the thickest part of your hand either. So those just give you some really great visuals. And then we're going to use our hands as some portion controls in just a second. Like my left hand, I kind of use as my protein hand. My right hand, I use that as my fibrous carb hand. And if I also want to add in another item of food to my plate, I'll put that one about right there, and then I'll make the fibrous carbs smaller. Okay, so I use my hands as my measuring tools, and they go with me wherever I go. Now, we've been over 4 of the 5. We've been over water, journaling, combinations, and portions. Those 4 must be met in order for you to say that you have had a perfect day. Okay, so that's the 4 you're going for. Number 5 is timing. And this is ultra important, but it's really there to help you optimize what you're doing with the other 4. Okay, so what this has to do with what you're going to be like, how often you're going to be eating, and how much you can eat in that way. So you can eat up to 3 meals a day. And if you just did 3 meals a day, which by the way, that is what I did in weight loss mode. I did 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day, breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. 3 wonderful times to sit down and commune with the Lord and tell him thank you for the food that he has provided you. 3 meals a day is very reasonable for people. It's just that we have been sold a bill of goods that we should be eating 5 or 6 small meals a day. It's not accurate. It's a myth. It is hurting our metabolism. It is also hurting our digestive system. So focus on 3 meals a day. Okay. Now, when you advance, and I'm going to put this terminology out there already, because if you're watching posts on Facebook and other things or listening to Travis, you may hear him say an eating episode. Okay. An eating episode. So he really only wants you to have 3 eating episodes in a day. Those could be 3 meals. It could be 2 meals and a snack, and so forth, but he really only wants you to have 3. So in the beginning, though, sometimes people have a hard time just doing 3. So I want you to know all that you can utilize to keep a perfect day, but just know that less is best. Okay. So you can do up to 3 meals a day. You really want to give yourself 4 to 6 hours between meals. And that sounds reasonable too, right? We're just not used to doing it. We're used to grazing. We gotta get away from that grazing. So I'm gonna give you an example of what I do. I usually eat breakfast around 8 a.m. I eat lunch around noon. That's 4 hours. And then, depending on my day, I eat lunch at 4, but always by 6. That's what I do. I'm not a nighttime eater. I never have been. I sleep better when I'm not digesting at night. And that's just the way I do it. So there's 4 hours in the morning, and then there's either 4 to 6 in the afternoons. So, and that would be 3 meals a day. If you are having a moment of mental weakness, and we say mental weakness because we really could power through. Okay. And if you decide to power through, it is going to help you get better results. Okay. But if you have that moment of mental weakness, I do want you to know there are things that you can utilize. All right. And people are utilizing them, and they're having great results too, because nothing that we suggest in these little categories that I'm going to give you right here would bring an insulin release. Nothing's going to stop your efficient fat burning of what you eat, but it would add calories to your day, so it would slow down your calorie deficit just a little bit. See, y'all, if you are taking notes, please write this down. There's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So we got to be in a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories in order to lose 1 pound of fat. See, that doesn't happen overnight. It happens over a course of a couple of days. But what we do in Shibboleth is we supercharge what we're doing with the combinations. Okay. So it's very, very important. Controlling insulin will help us efficiently burn fat. We have things called freebies. Freebies are like your category 2 fibrous carb vegetables, maybe a um, Jello, like a sugar-free Jello, pickle, egg whites, simple things like that. Those are kind of freebies, and you would just utilize those just in a pinch. Okay, it's not like you want to see how many you could get in a day. You just utilize those in a pinch. And then we have something called an extra. Well, an extra, that's just those things that we figured out make the lifestyle more sustainable. Let's say that you go to Chick-fil-A and you order a Shibboleth approved meal at Chick-fil-A and you want their diet lemonade. Do you know that their diet lemonade, even though it says diet, is not 0 calorie? Their small diet lemonade has 50 calories in it. So we just call that an extra. Okay, so we just, you're allowed up to 1 extra in a day. Do you know that having that diet lemonade makes things more enjoyable if you like diet lemonade? Okay, so it's just something just a little extra that helps you live the lifestyle. And if you wanted to, you could do up to 1 extra in a day. And you could also do up to one snack in a day. So, but all of these things are going to be Shibboleth approved items that will be in the food library. And when you are working your way through the fast track laps this week, then you'll have an opportunity to go in there and fill those out on a worksheet. I've got a worksheet, and the last task in lap 3 is a worksheet. So you're going to want to fill that out and play around and process some freebies that you might want so that you don't get caught off guard. Process what an extra might be and a snack might be, and make your lists for those things. Okay. Now, with that all being said, if you have 3 meals, let's say that you have breakfast and then you have an extra, and then you have lunch, and then you have a snack, and then you have dinner, and then you have freebies all night long. Guess what that would be? That would be a perfect Shibboleth day. Would it be the best kind that you could have? No. But would it still get you results in the beginning? Yes. Now, is it something we need to work away from? Yes. Are days always going to be the same? No. So you gotta, it's good, better, and best. And not every single day that you live is going to be exactly the same. So we have to utilize what we do based on every situation we find ourselves in. Okay. But with all of that said, I counted off 6. That was really 6 eating episodes, if you think about it. And Travis really only wants us to have 3 a day. Okay. So that 6 really looks like grazing. See, we are not cows. Cows were designed to graze. Don't they have like 4 stomachs or something? They're designed to graze. We are not designed to graze. And you probably hear a lot of people talking about different digestive issues, diverticulitis and other digestive issues. Well, one of the reasons is we're never giving that digestive system, a break. We just eat all the time and pile new food in on top of new food before it's even digested. And it's overworking that system. If you overwork a machine and that machine never gets a break, it will eventually break down. So we got to give it a break. All right. So I hope all this is making sense. So what we have just gone over, the 5 components of the shield, the first 4, water, journal, combinations and portions must be met in order for you to say that you've had a perfect day. This timing one is for optimization. Okay. Now, if you have those 6, 8, I did 9. Why did I do 9? I don't know. If you do those 6 eating episodes, it's really, don't call it an eating episode because we're not supposed to have more than 3 of those. 3 meals, a freebie, an extra, and a snack. It looks like grazing, but it would still work. That would be a good Shibboleth perfect day. Let's say that you did 3 meals and just freebies and you left off the extra and the snack. That would be a better Shibboleth perfect day. And then if you do just 3 eating episodes, which could be 3 meals or 2 meals and a snack, that would be one of the best Shibboleth perfect days that you can have. Okay, so you can see how there's good, better, and best in there. All right, so how do you put together a properly combined meal? This is a slide on component number 3, combinations. So in order to teach you how to combine foods, you're going to need to know that there are 7 categories of food. 7 categories. These 7 categories, foods go into them because of their nutritional values and how they respond or break down and the reaction they cause in your body. So how do they respond in your body and what's their nutritional value? So category 1 is a lean protein, or you'll see LP as the abbreviation. That's where chicken breast and egg whites are. And I'm just going to list out a few tonight just to kind of start giving you an idea. Because if you've never been thinking about what types of foods those are, you're going to have to start getting used to learning those. And one of the activities that you'll do in the fast track laps is brainstorming the foods that you like and then looking them up in the food library so that you can get used to figuring out which foods are which. Category 2 is a fibrous carb, or FC. Category 3, FC would be broccoli, green beans, and we've got over 60 approved bread or bread type items in that category as well. Category 3 is an energy carb, or EC. This is where you're going to find potatoes, grits, corn. Category 4, protein plus fat. or PF. This is where you're going to find your whole eggs and all cuts of steak. Category 5, fruit, FR. Also known as an antioxidant carb or AC. And the reason that I write this here is because on some of our documents, when I was first starting, I saw antioxidant carb, AC, and I'm like, what's that? And then I was told, okay, it's really fruit. So I just wanted you to be aware that if you see antioxidant carb, it's really fruit. Category 6, superfood, SF. This is where you find your nut butters, your nuts and your seeds, avocados, most of your darker colored beans. Now, if you're taking notes, please write this down. The reason that a food qualifies to be a superfood is it has all 4 macronutrients in it. Now, really, on planet Shibboleth, there's 4. Out in the other planet Earth, there's 3. But on planet Shibboleth, we call water a macronutrient, and it's the most important macronutrient. But it also has in it fat, protein, and carbs. So that's how a superfood qualifies to be a superfood. It has all 4 of those components in it. And then category 7 is shellfish or SHF. SHF. That's basically all fish is in a lean protein, but anything that lives in water that's not a fish, whether or not it has a shell or not, like octopus doesn't have a shell, all of that stuff's in shellfish. But all of your fish is in category 1 lean protein. But look at what's in parentheses right here. Shellfish is really just a lean protein. So you got your bookends, you got your category 1 all the way through category 7. The bookends of the categories are both lean proteins and can be used exactly the same way. The category 7 shellfish was pulled off of the category 1 lean proteins because due to biblical reasons and medical reasons, some people don't want to eat shellfish. So they just don't even have to even think about category 7s, okay? So they got pulled off just to create its own little category. Now, we've gone over the 7 categories. Now, I found it important enough in my life to, when I was standing in the shower, when I was walking down the hall, when I was riding in the car, saying to myself, category 1, lean protein, category 2, fibrous carb, category 3, energy carb. To me, this is the important thing for you to know quickly. You know, you want to know these things quickly, and then you want to know which foods you like and what numbers they are. You want to know what they're called. You know, eventually you'll just start seeing food like this. So out of these 7 foods, though, 5 of these don't even have to be combined at all. So let's go over what those are, and please write them down. Category 1, category 2, category 4, category 6, and category 7. They don't have to be combined at all. If you ended up eating them by themselves for some reason, you'd still be okay. And the reason it's important to know this is because not every single day goes the same. And you might find yourself in a situation where, oops, it only looks like I can eat the chicken breast here at this place, you know, or whatever. Just know that that's okay. You can do that. So there's 5 of them that don't even have to be combined. So we skipped over number 3 and 5. They must be combined properly for sure. Okay. So now let's talk about what you have to combine together and then what you shouldn't combine together, because that's the 2 ways I like to look at it. So number 3, that's not number 3. Why do I keep doing that? Number 3 and number 5, your energy carbs and your fruit. When you eat a food that is an energy carb or a fruit, I'm going to give you the science lesson. It is going to elevate your blood sugar. When your blood sugar elevates, your pancreas secretes some insulin to come and regulate the blood sugar. Okay. Now, since we eat in a way that controls insulin, we've got to make sure that any blood sugar elevation that happens with a meal is controlled within the eating of that meal, because we don't want any fat storage going on later if we eat some fat later. Okay. And we don't want to eat fat with anything that's going to bring an insulin release. You do not want fat with carbs that bring an insulin release.
Okay, we're going to give you the rule on that in a second. But let's look at some things. Let's say that you wanted to eat a quarter of a cup. Let's say you want to eat a quarter of a cup of corn. So basically, if you're going to use your two-hand rule, quarter of a cup will sit about right there. Okay, so that's where your quarter of a cup of corn is going to go. So when you eat that corn, the corn is going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to excrete insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. But now that you're learning this, you're thinking, okay, how do I eat that corn and not and be able to control insulin? If you eat a 3 or a 5, it must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Okay, so let me repeat that. If you're going to eat a 3 or a 5, it must be combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Now, and let's do an application thing right now. That lean protein can come from category 1 or category 7. Okay, so we got a corn right here. And let's just say that we want to have some chicken breast. I'll put my chicken breast right here. It's going to be a good protein source, all right? And then let's just keep it real simple. We're going to put some green beans right here. Okay. So we're talking a lot of whole foods tonight, but just know there's a lot of other stuff on the lifestyle too. I mean, there's such a huge variety in Shibboleth, and that's why I'm so one of the things that makes it so sustainable is that we make it we look at foods for people and see if it'll work, and we tell them how to use it. So it's very customizable. Okay, but you've eaten the corn, and y'all already know, say in your head right now, this corn is going to bring an insulin release due to the fact that it elevates my blood sugar. I'm going to eat it with chicken breast and green beans. So here's what happens. Your blood sugar is elevated. Your pancreas secretes insulin. It comes to elevate the blood. It comes to lower the blood sugar elevation. But the protein in that chicken breast and the fiber in those green beans are going to help neutralize the insulin release from the corn, all within the confines of that meal and eating episode. Okay. I mean, is your mind blown right now? That it blew my mind. I was like, what? All you have to do is switch around some of the things that you eat in order to control insulin. And here's why you want to do that. Oh, well, let me give that in just a second. I'll explain that in just a second. So, but let's go over this. Your quarter of a cup of corn. Did you overeat? Did you overeat corn at a quarter of a cup? You didn't. You didn't overeat corn at a quarter of a cup. So your body is actually able to deal with it with the food that you're using. It's really like using food as medicine rather than getting a shot or something. So you're using food to deal with that insulin right then. So, and that's a good thing. That is a properly combined meal. Now, in the beginning, one of your best meals is just going to be real simple, a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Lean protein and fibrous carb. Those are real simple. Now, can you do an energy carb in your first week? You can. Is it going to give you the best results? No. But see, I don't expect that people are going to be having an energy carb with every meal either. It might just be that you do it with one meal that week or something, but it's still something you can do. But your best ones are going to be category 1 and 2. All right. Now let's do a fruit example. Now let's say that you want to have some fruit. Let's just say a small apple. So you want to have a small apple, not an apple the size of your hand, small apple. So we're going to do a small apple. Maybe we make ourselves an egg white spinach omelet, okay? And so the egg whites would be the protein needed, and the spinach would be the fiber needed in order to neutralize the insulin release that came from the apple. Okay, so again, we've controlled insulin with that eating, that within that eating episode or that meal. So we're going to control that insulin. Now, let's talk about that fruit difference between weight loss and maintenance. Okay, so remember how I said that there's 3 differences between weight loss and maintenance, and one of them is how many holidays, 2 is how you eat fruit, and 3 is your mindset. So the fruit, when you are in weight loss mode, you must eat fruit combined properly.
Once you get to maintenance mode, see, weight loss mode and maintenance mode are two different nutritional situations, okay? So once you get to maintenance mode, if you wanted to have a serving of fruit as a snack, you could do that. You could do that, okay? But if you're eating it with a meal, you should really try to still combine it properly. But if you just want a piece of fruit as a snack, you can do that. But when you get to maintenance, you can do that. In weight loss mode, we're trying really hard to control that insulin, okay? Insulin won't have as negative an impact in small, tiny amounts like eating an apple in maintenance as it does in weight loss mode, okay? And I see questions popping up. I'm going to finish this so I don't lose my train of thought, and I will come back to them. So protein plus fat. So this is where whole eggs are, all your cuts of steak and all that. So let me tell you right now what you don't eat with a protein plus fat. So you do not eat a protein plus fat with any foods that are going to bring an insulin release. So you're not going to eat them with energy carbs, fruit, or superfoods, because depending on the superfood, it could bring an insulin release. Because let's say that you've got nuts. Well, nuts have more fat in them. Well, let's say that you've got darker colored beans. Well, they have more energy carb property in them. So anything that's a superfood, we just don't eat with a protein plus fat. So this is, I'm going to recap this on the next page, but if you're writing these down, we don't eat fours with threes, fives, or sixes. You can eat a four by itself. Now, with that being said, it doesn't mean full, it's not like keto like, let me pile up a fat plate of whatever. We're not doing that, okay? But you'd still just have a protein amount source of what would fit under your hand. So yes, you can have a protein plus fat by itself. Now, optimally, would it be best to have it with a fibrous carb vegetable? Yeah, yeah. But it doesn't have to be. Let's say that you go to a luncheon one day and you don't know what they're going to serve, and you forgot to bring something with you, and you go up there and you look at the trays and you go, ooh, fat bus city, fat bus city, fat bus city. Oh, chicken breast, I'll have the chicken breast. That's what you do that day. You'll remain an EFB. So this is about situational eating. We got to teach you how to learn to do this lifestyle in every situation, okay? So we can have a protein plus fat. But let me give you the example of a classic plate, a steak and a baked potato. So if you eat a steak and a baked potato, you got fat storage. That is a fat storage meal. First of all, let me say that steak and a baked potato is allowed on Planet Shibboleth. It just depends on what day you're eating it on. It's a holiday, okay? And holiday living is part of Planet Shibboleth. So if you want to have a steak and a baked potato, just do that then, all right? Now, the science behind that is this. If you eat a potato, first of all, the potatoes, like if you're eating it out, it's not even regular sized, it's huge. So your pancreas is going to secrete a lot of insulin in order to deal with the blood sugar elevation that a potato creates. Well, the pancreas, when it secretes that insulin, the insulin comes out to do a job. It comes out to lower your blood sugar, but it gets super excited because you ate it with a steak. And it's like, wait a minute, I like to store fat. Let me go over and store that fat. So that's where the fat bus comes out, and it goes around and it picks up fat lipids and it stores them. So that's a fat storing meal. So instead of having steak with a baked potato or an energy carb, maybe you change your order at a restaurant, or maybe even at home if you often cook that at home, to green beans or broccoli or a fibrous carb salad, that type of thing. There won't be any fat storage in that. Even though there's fat in steak, your body's just going to use that up as energy and it will dissipate as heat. But if you eat it with the potato, the fat will be stored. Anybody's mind blown right now? It's just absolutely crazy. Okay. So let's look at this combination chart right here. So this combination chart, you've got this blue column, and you can see that there's a few more pieces to a meal in these blue columns. But let me explain what this means. When we're looking at this, it says 1 LP. That's not quantity. That's the category number. So category 1, lean protein, can be eaten with a category 6 superfood and a category 2 fibrous carb. So you could do that. So that's what that's explaining. That little line is just one meal that you would make yourself. This blue column is a fast weight loss column. Now, if you come over here to this yellow column, this column is a faster weight loss column. And then you come over here to this red column, and this is the fastest. You're going to be blowtorching fat like you'd blowtorch butter if you're in the red column. So we've really got good, better, and best. So in Shibboleth, there y'all can hear already, there's a lot of good, better, and best. There's a lot of ways to optimize what you do. Okay, and then you're going to continue to put all that together tomorrow night with the webinar and then the fast track laps that we are going through. Okay, so let's see the questions here. Deanna, what category would soy pasta be in? Okay, so Deanna, if you're using the Explore Cuisine pastas, those there's a soy pasta, there is a black bean pasta and a mung bean pasta. Those are all category 1 and 2. Together, it's a category 1 and 2 because it has enough lean protein in it and enough fibrous carb in it to be a category 1 and 2 together. But whole wheat pasta is a category 3 energy carb, and you would not want more than a quarter of a cup of that. In fact, I really wouldn't even eat any whole wheat or whole grain pasta because there's so many other pastas that are better. I mean, carbonara pasta would be even better because it's got some energy carb properties, but it's also got some lean protein in it and some fibrous carb to help out the energy carb part. So I've just scratched whole grain and whole wheat pastas. There's so many better choices. So I hope that helps. Tracy, can we have regular eggs or oh yeah, you can have regular eggs, Tracy. I eat regular eggs all the time. Now, so I'm eating regular eggs from the beginning. Now, of course, if I'm going to eat regular eggs, they've got some fat in them. I'm not going to put them with an energy carb fruit or superfood, which I typically don't anyway. But if I wanted to have it with any of that, I'd just switch over to the egg whites. But you don't necessarily have to do egg whites or egg beaters. Regular eggs are totally fine. I do keep, it's like a quart jar, a box. You know how you have the carton of egg whites in my refrigerator? Because when I'm making some recipes, there is a recipe that I love called the best breakfast casserole or something like that. And it calls for egg whites. And so I have my carton in there for that. But when I'm just making eggs for myself, Tracy, I just do regular eggs. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. You know, I don't know, Jacqueline. I would have to look up egg beaters and egg whites. And okay, so when I don't know the answer to something, it's because I don't use it and I haven't looked at it. So egg beaters have probably gotten some chemicals and some colors and some other things that probably aren't that great for you. So I would prefer to use egg whites myself, or I just use whole eggs or egg whites. Egg whites would be a freebie. Now your whole eggs are not. They're a category 4. Now egg whites though. Okay, let me clear this up right now. Some things can be 2 categories. So let's say something is a category 1, egg whites, but they also qualify as a freebie. Don't call them a freebie in your meal because we don't eat freebies with meals. You got to have a properly combined meal. Freebies are just used in moments of mental weakness. So depends on how you're using something, what you call it. Deanna. Okay, so strawberries with your Travis spaghetti is okay. So let's think through this Travis spaghetti. It could be, yes. Okay, if you are making Travis's spaghetti with the Explore Cuisine pasta or a category 1 and 2 pasta, you're cool right there adding strawberries. As long as the meat that you've used is also a category 1 lean protein, you've still got a 1 and a 2 there. You could add a small amount of strawberries, maybe as a little dessert after that. You could do that, Deanna. But again, remember your portion control and all of that. But where that comes in is sometimes if you have used a category 4 meat, you wouldn't want the strawberries with that. All right, that's where your application. See, I'm going to teach you this, but we got to learn to apply it. And then let's see, Jacqueline, 000 yogurt and Atkins meal shakes. Those should be fine. Yes. You're welcome, Tracy. Okay, and Deborah says that egg beaters are whites, but they're yellow colored. So they've been colored. And so I would just want to buy egg whites rather than egg beaters to eliminate some chemicals. Let's see. That's funny, Deanna. That's funny. I hope you enjoyed it. That sounds like a good dinner. Okay, so now tonight, this hopefully is giving, like I said, this is an overview. This is a little nutshell. Tomorrow night, we're going to open this up, but please make yourself a promise that you're going to do every little task in the lap system that Sasha and I created, okay? Because they all have their purpose. They all do. Let's see. Anita, can you have boiled eggs? Yes. Yes, you can have boiled eggs at breakfast. Yes, you can. I like boiled eggs for breakfast. Okay, so let's recap that last page. Your fastest fat burning combination is a category 1 plus 2, and we're not doing math, we're just putting these things together on our plate together, plus MCT. We're going to go over MCT on the next slide. Or a category 7, which is shellfish, plus category 2 fibrous carb plus MCT. Those are your fastest fat burning combination. And honestly, that's really super simple for you to keep in the beginning. If you want to eat a 3, which is an energy carb, or 5, which is fruit, you must eat it with a category 1 or 7, which is your lean protein, and a 2. So that's a must and an and. And then we just don't eat category 4s with anything that's going to bring more of an insulin release. That would be our 3s, 5s, and 6s, our energy carbs, our fruits, and our superfoods. Look at the last bullet point here. All meat at a restaurant should be considered a category 4. Because even if you're taking a piece of lean protein, chicken breast, you do not know what oil they cooked it in at the restaurant. So you have got to treat that appropriately. I'm sure they did not cook it in MCT oil. I'm sure they did not cook it in an approved oil. So they've taken a piece of lean protein, and by the way of cooking it the way they did, they turned it into a protein plus fat. So that is what your rule is to keep you safe at a restaurant, so that you don't order rice or an energy carb or something like that, because it's going to store the fat that's on that chicken breast. So all meat at a restaurant should be considered a category 4. Okay, Debbie, I'm going to show y'all the fast track laps in a few minutes, but also, okay, while I'm here, and so I don't forget, I am going to pop over. Wait, did I lose? I'm going to pop over here to the new member fast track group, okay? And in the announcements, I did an excellent webinar on Thursday night. This fast track welcome party, I need y'all to go back and watch this if you haven't, because this explains how to do the fast track laps. Okay, I just tagged you, Debbie, in it. Brandy, it is recorded. It is recorded, and it will be in the fast track laps on lap 2. Yes. Yep. Okay. So we got you covered there, but y'all need to go back and watch this, because it is a full explanation on how to do those laps. And while I'm here real quick, I'm going to pop over and show you the laps. Okay. So I'm going to go into the Shibboleth website. If you are a brand new member, when you click on dashboard, now you find the dashboard 2 different ways. On your computer, it'll be just like it is right here, right now. But on your phone, scroll all the way to the top, and you're going to see 3 white lines. Click there, and there will be a little drop down menu. That's where you click dashboard. So you click dashboard. Once you are if you're a brand new member, your fast track is going to pop up first. See how my instructor page popped up first? Well, that's because I am not new. But if you're new, your fast track is going to pop up first. There are 7 laps. Do you see? There's a tab here. Lap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the tasks that I'm talking about. They're simple, they're easy, but you're going to want to do them. It's going to help your lifestyle and your hub, the Shibboleth website, let it be your hub. It's going to get it all set up just right. This video is a video of me showing you how to do all of these things, and that'll help shorten your learning curve on the website. Okay, so, but watch that video for full out explanation of how to do that. So it's very important. Yes, Brandy, it'll be on the website. in the fast track lap number 2. Okay, so we're going to go back to the PowerPoint, and now we're going to talk about something ultra important, MCT oil. So MCT oil is a medium chain triglyceride. This is extremely important. Secret alert going on right now. This is what we are going to use for our oils. These are the approved cooking oils. Okay, now can you have unapproved cooking oils on Shibboleth? Yes, it will be a holiday, but you get 6 of them, okay? But we're going to utilize these. Honestly, see, once you know things, sometimes you just can't unknow them. You honestly can't just unknow them. And then you are responsible for what you do with them. So, I mean, I'm never buying any olive oil and canola oil and vegetable oil again. Why would I want to do that when I got other oils that I can use? So I'm going to use medium chain triglycerides. 100% is what you should use. I highly recommend that you purchase the Zero Drag brand from the Shibboleth store. If you're in Kennesaw, Georgia, you can just come in person and get it. If you are anywhere else in the um, continental United States, you can order that from our Shibboleth store. Zero Drag. And the reason that I like that brand is because it has been optimized for cooking, and that's why we're going to use it. We're not using it for other reasons. It also has 100 calories per tablespoon, where every other MCT oil that I've seen has 130. And I want that one. Now, the next best brand that Travis says to buy of MCT oil, if you can't get ours for some reason, is Now brand, NOW, the Now brand. So you could use that one. Now, MCT oil has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. Listen to that. Almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. Well, let's compare that to a long chain triglyceride, which is a longer fat lipid and it's very dense. That is your olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. All right. So they have a great propensity to be stored on the body as fat because your body's just constantly working on trying to burn them off, and they're an easily accessible source of energy. So let me explain this. We are not wanting our body to have easily accessible sources of energy. Do you know what fat is? Fat is stored energy. It is stored energy. So we don't need to give our body easily accessible sources of energy. We need our body to get its energy from the stored energy that's already on us in the form of fat. That's EFB right there, efficient fat burning. So that all the 5 parts of the lifestyle bring it together to create that. Okay. So with MCT oil, we're going to do 3 things with it, and that's it. You're going to hear a lot of things out there in this world that you should be doing with MCT oil. They're just trying to sell you something, okay? 3 things. You're going to cook it in a pot or a pan when you're making either a lean protein or some fibrous carbs. You can do that. No more than a tablespoon, though. Number 2, you can use it as a replacement in recipes. And number 3, you can make salad dressings with it, but never feel like you need to get it in. It's not a supplement. We don't need to do that. We're not going to make bulletproof coffee with that. If you're doing it, stop. If you are putting it in your shakes, we don't do that either. So those 3 reasons only. The second, the approved cooking oil for us is coconut oil, and it is 66% MCTs, but it's not 100. So when you're buying your MCT oil, if you don't buy the Zero Drag from us, or you don't get the Now brand, and by the way, all these things can be found on our website with links to them. If you don't buy those brands, if you don't buy those brands, if you're out in the regular grocery store and you find a bottle that says MCT, flip it over and look where it says ingredients. Do not count on it to say the front. There's a lot of marketing going on. So look at the ingredients list. It should say 100% medium chain triglycerides. Maybe it could say medium chain triglycerides. But if it says anything else besides that, it's not 100%. So for example, if it says medium chain triglycerides from coconut oil, they've just sold you expensive coconut oil under the name of MCT. Okay, so just make sure it's only 100% MCT oil. And the reason that is coconut oil is only 66%. Coconut oil is still the second approved oil, but for the best results, it's 100% MCT. You're still going to get good results with coconut, better than using canola oil, vegetable oil, or olive oil, yes. But will you get better with the MCT? Yes. The other thing you can use is ghee butter, Ghee butter. And all that is butter that has been clarified. So all of the milk solids have been clarified out of that, and you're pretty much left with the healthier fats, and it's 40 to 45% MCTs. See, ghee butter, we try to make this lifestyle very, very doable. Ghee butter is there for when you might want to make a shrimp scampi, or you might want to dip some lobster tail or crab legs into some butter. You use ghee butter for that. And you make the rest of your meal combined properly so that it doesn't collect the fat. And then you can also use 0-calorie cooking spray. So this is my mindset when I use it. If I am cooking a lean protein, I use medium chain triglycerides. If I am cooking a protein plus fat, I use 0-calorie cooking spray. So somebody asked me one night, why would I choose to use MCT oil that has 100 or 130 calories in it per tablespoon versus a 0-calorie cooking spray? Well, it's a great question, and I present it each Sunday night now. Medium chain triglycerides have a muscle preserving effect. That's very important to us on Shibboleth. We're going to preserve our muscles while we're losing weight. See, we're going to burn fat for our energy, not our own muscles, ligaments, tendons, heart mass, and all of that. So we need to do things that work together properly. So it's got a muscle preserving effect, but it also has a metabolism building effect. So that's where you get that blowtorch fat, like you'd blowtorch butter column, but because you're putting a lean protein with a fibrous carb and cooking it up in some MCT oil, and it burns up so quickly, it gives you a little bit of extra calorie burn. So these are our 4 approved cooking oils. All right, so let's get Deanna. After you do all the laps, pass the test, and watch the Travis 26 videos and pass that phase 1/10, are there other videos we need to watch? Okay, so Deanna, there's not other videos that you quote need to watch. There's not. That would be it. But are there tons of other videos in there to watch? Yeah, tons. And I would go in there and watch Jason's basic training after that, Deanna, because he does a really great job too. And what's so good about listening to all 3 of us is we all 3 have a different little teaching style, and we say different things. And so something that I say might connect one day, and then something Travis says will connect another day, and then something that Jason says will connect another day, and it helps you build that full framework of knowledge. So I would continue that. So here's the process, Deanna. You're going to want to go through the fast track laps and making sure that you check off every single task in all the laps. You're going to pass the fast track test at the end, okay? The very last task in lap 7 takes you over to the daily doses. So the daily dose videos are Travis's original daily doses. This is what I watched. Oh, by the way, I watched these in a hotel room. While my coworkers were out shooting pool and doing whatever. I was coming back from dinner to my hotel room and watching the daily doses because I'd gone on a work trip after I signed up. And so I was watching the daily doses there. What I figured out was I just need to switch around a few products and the way that I'm eating it together and have some daily disciplines to play with and manage my life with the management system that Shibboleth is. And I lost 50 pounds in 5 months. It's going on 19 months now that I've maintained that, and I'm super excited about it. But once you have passed all of the fast track laps, if you're brand new, that opens up the full website to you if you have a silver level membership and up. Okay, so it's important to finish all of those. Then the reason, Deanna, that you would want to make sure that you've passed the phase 1 foundation test after Travis's daily doses is because that's one of the steps in getting your pink t-shirt. So to get that pink 10% t-shirt, you pass the phase 1 foundation test after Travis's daily doses. That's not after the fast track, that's after Travis's. You journal for 30 consecutive days, and you lose 10% of your body weight, and you'll get that pink t-shirt. If you're a lady, you'll get a white one if you're a man. So anyway, that's that. Smart Balance oil. Missy, I would have to look it up. And if you'll hang around with me after I finish this little webinar, I'll look it up for you and let you know. Let's see, what is the ghee butter? Okay, Deanna, that's a great question. It's not ghee butter that they're eating by themselves. They're eating ghee butter. I'll type it in right here, ghee butter. It's a meal replacement. And there's brownie ghee butter, there's s'mores ghee butter, there's all sorts of ghee butter. And if you'll hang on after I finish this, I'll show you that too. Oh, yes. See, Deanna, what we're trying to do with these videos is keep people engaged, because we know for a fact the people that engage in the website and they go in and they journal and they do all of the things, they lose 2 to 3 times more weight than the people that don't engage. So, and we do put out a lot of content and we don't want anybody to not have it. I mean, I've listened to well over 1,000 videos. I know. I drive around in the car and I just put them on and listen to them. But yeah, I'll show you the ghee butter in just a second. But ghee butter and ghee butter are 2 totally different things. All right. So we're going to remain in EFB as often as possible. So this is the lifestyle part. Okay, yeah, y'all hang on after and we'll show you. This is the lifestyle part. We're striving for our perfect days, but planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. And then after a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get your body back into EFB. What's happening during those 2 perfect days is this: that insulin is dissipating. It takes 48 hours for, insulin doses that haven't been controlled to go away. You're also using up any glycogen that has come into your body, which is sugar stores that has come into your body during a holiday. That's going to be coming out of your muscles and your liver. Once those are gone, which are easily accessible sources of energy, by the way, then your body is back into EFB and burning booty, burning fat. Okay. So this is why I'm like, I like this girl right here on my screen. She's having a EFB streak. So when we are in EFB, our body is going to burn that stored energy, which is fat, for the energy that we need, rather than easily accessible sources of energy, such as unapproved oils and starchy and sugary carbs. So as you can see, this is really just a management system. And I never like it when I hear somebody say, I fell off the wagon. Well, I'll say, well, how many holidays have you had this month? 1. I said, oh, you're not off the wagon. Just get back onto your perfect days. That was just holiday number 2 for the month. It's okay. So, so we've got to, but if you've had more than 6, you're off the wagon. All right. And then you call for a May Day. You got May Day mentor appointments. Call and make that appointment. But it's a lifestyle. So once you've had a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days. And on your 3rd day, you're back in EFB. Okay. So it's a little cycle. It's a cycle. And it's a doable, livable, sustainable cycle. Let's recap the fat bus as we are closing. The fat bus is insulin. Insulin is a growth hormone. It's a fat storage hormone. After an insulin release, fat storage occurs for up to 48 hours, meaning you're out of efficient fat burning. Insulin also increases your appetite. So if you've ever had ice cream and then you wanted chips and then you wanted cookies and then you wanted a pickle and then you're like, why in the world am I doing all this? That's because insulin sends your appetite off the charts. So just be aware of that and make conscious, good decisions, even on holidays if possible, okay? And after the fat bus has been on its rounds, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into efficient fat burning. Now, what are you going to eat this week? Hopefully you watched last Thursday's webinar. And if you didn't, that's okay. You're going to make yourself a list of 7 lean proteins and 7 fibrous carbs that you like. And then you're just going to mix and match and eat those together. If you can get your hands on some MCT oil, then put that with it. If you can't, just cook it up in 0-calorie cooking spray. Or if you happen to have coconut oil at home, that's fine. Don't make it harder on yourself than it needs to be. But you're going to put category 1 or a lean protein and a fibrous carb together. Just mix them and match them and enjoy them. Throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. If you were eating Pop-Tarts and cereal before, you're going to need a meal replacement for that probably, because you're going to want to probably still do those types of things. That's where the Shibboleth store comes in handy for you because we have lots of little specialty products that fill our voids in that way. But keep it really, really simple in the beginning and then branch out as you learn and live the lifestyle. Make sure that you take advantage of our awesome resources, y'all. We have a lot of support. So if you're a Facebook user, please get into these Facebook support groups. There's a lot of support there. And make sure that you familiarize yourself with our awesome website. You'll familiarize yourself with our awesome website if you're working through the fast track labs. There is no way not to familiarize yourself with our awesome website if you're working your way through our fast track labs. Then make a getting started mentor appointment, but I highly suggest that you make that appointment for next week. The reason I say next week is because I want you to do fast track this week. And when you have a conversation with that mentor, you will have a more intelligent conversation with her if she's not having to teach you the lifestyle, which should have been learned this week. Okay. So when you have a mentor appointment, y'all can focus in on honing in on any questions you still have because you'll have good questions if you've really been learning, and y'all can focus on some meal plans and just putting that all together. Okay. But make sure you do the fast track labs this week. Last but not least, welcome to the Shibboleth family. We are here for you. And I just hope that you fall in love with it as much as I have because it's awesome. And if you're on Facebook, please make sure that you like the Shibboleth public page. I go live on the Shibboleth public page Monday through Friday in the 7 o'clock hour every day, not on the weekends, but in the 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time hour. I don't know exactly what time. It depends on what time I wake up, get my hair fixed, makeup on, and get down here. But it's a morning motivation, focus, and daily devotion. And I hear that a lot of people get a really great benefit out of it. So I'd like for you to join us on that. I'm going to answer the questions, then I'll go back to those other two things. If anybody needs to leave, I totally understand, but I am going to show a few extra things. Let's see. Deborah Gillespie. I'm on Facebook. Is Shibboleth on MeWe or some other platforms? There's some on MeWe. Debbie, okay, so I'm going to show you, Debbie, where to find that my morning video every day. I'll show you where to find that. Deborah, you can go on MeWe. But honestly, y'all, everything that you need is on the Shibboleth website. We just like all that interaction with other people. Okay. And but Deborah, also Travis has been creating his own Facebook thing. So we may end up with it all on the Shibboleth site. So he's been testing that. So that's good news. Okay, Jacqueline wants to know about Kellogg's All Brand. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Anybody that wants to hang out with me, great. We're going to dig into this awesome website and answer these questions right here. Okay, so let me make sure that I am back to the screen. Hey, on Facebook, I'm sorry, I did not pay attention to y'all tonight. But I'll tell you what, Patty Bass is helping me out over there. So thank you. Awesome. Y'all are they're entertaining themselves on Facebook over there. Good job. Oh, see, I normally have my iPad right up here and I can look up and read and answer questions, but I only had 11% and I knew it wouldn't make it. So I plugged it in and I pulled my phone up. Okay, so we are going to look up Smart Balance oil. So I'm going into the food library. I clicked on this green tab and then I click on approved food library. Right here, there's a search button, a search bar. Smart Balance. So I'm going to put in Smart Balance and search for that. So the only thing with the name Smart Balance in it was Smart Balance peanut butter. So I would have to say that the Smart Balance oil is not approved. If you really want to know what you're going to do is, and this is what I did in the beginning, I took pictures of stuff and posted it in the Shibboleth Fixed It group. So Missy, what you're going to want to do is take a picture of the front and the back and put it in there, but it's probably not MCTs and it's probably not approved. You'd put it in the Shibboleth Fixed It group if you're curious, but this is the only thing with Smart Balance that came up. All right, so we're going to look up G butter. So G butter is a high protein, low calorie spread. It's a -3 on the weight loss meter. That's what this is. This is the weight loss meter. You'll learn about the weight loss meter. I showed it a little bit on Thursday night, and it's going into the fast track laps too. If you want to buy this from our store, you click right there on that green link. All members get 20% off in our store. Okay, anything that's $30 or more ships for free. If you have other things to buy on Amazon and you just want Shibboleth to get the credit, you just go through any of our Find It on Amazon links and you could put some G butter into your cart, and then you could throw in an iPad, you could throw in your shower caps, you could throw in whatever else that you want to buy, and Shibboleth will get 2 to 4 cents on the dollar, depending on what it is. So it does help the ministry when you do that. But this G butter here, it can be used as a snack. See, when you come up to this little area and it says category, read these things. When it says snack and when it says meal replacement, it could be used as both. You could have up to one snack in a day, or you can use it as a meal replacement. And then you got your approved portion over here. 2 tablespoons is a snack. 4 to 6 tablespoons can be a meal, but it says 4 is best. And then it comes down here and it gives you more details. As a meal, this is a -3 on the weight loss meter because it's high protein and low calorie. That's a good thing. But as a snack, actually all snacks are either 0 or higher. Typically they're 0, but oftentimes they can be higher. They would be not going to help you, not going to hurt you. So do you see how it depends on how you're using the item to what the weight loss meter is on it? It wouldn't be a -3 being used as a snack, but as a meal, it would be. So then it says 30 seconds in the microwave, and you have a delicious warm brownie or cookie. They're made with all natural ingredients, cashews, peanuts, almonds, 100% ultra filtered whey protein isolate, safflower oil, erythritol, stevia leaf extract, cocoa, Dutch cocoa. Now, just because it says safflower oil in there, that doesn't mean, oh, let me go use safflower oil in cooking. No, what that means is all of the rest of this combats that already. Yeah. Okay, so that is G butter. Let's see the other questions. Kellogg's All Brand. Okay, so I'm gonna show you something about cereals. We won't really go over this tomorrow night, but do you see where this says phase 1 cereal and it says phase 2 cereal, phase 1 and phase 2? I don't want to confuse anybody with phase 1 and phase 2. This is how I like to explain it. Phase 1 is the foundation of the lifestyle. You're always going to be in phase 1. Phase 2 is just opening up more foods in the grocery store. It doesn't mean that they're better foods for you. In fact, a lot of them aren't. It's opening up Cocoa Puffs and Captain Crunch and things that work, because there are things that don't work. And then it gives you not cereals, soups and frozen meals and things like that. So I could click right here. Let me click on this phase 1 cereal, and we're going to see if Kellogg's All Brand is a phase 1. Phase 1 cereals are better than phase 2 cereals, okay? Better for you. Kellogg's All Brand original cereal. So, Jacqueline, it is a phase 1 cereal. And let's click on it and let's see what it says. It's a category 6 superfood, so it's got all 4 macronutrients in it. It's a phase 1 cereal. The recommended amount is 1 cup. And if you wanted to buy it on Amazon, you could do that there because you don't have the green link for the buy it on Shibboleth because we don't have it there. It is preferred that you combine this cereal with Egg Whites International, which is like using egg whites as your milk. I know that might sound weird, but it really isn't. And the Egg Whites International brand is the brand that we like for using it liquid because it has been triple tested for salmonella. Okay, Kroger, Codmaster, or fat-free Fairlife. But however, you can combine it with a 1/4 cup of any milk, but I don't recommend whole milk and all of that. I would, if you're an almond milk person, you could do that with phase 1 cereals. But with phase 2 cereals, let's click on a phase 2 cereal. Oh, there was a recipe there for Carb Quick bran muffins that you could make with that. So phase 2 cereal. Well, we got some Captain Crunch right here. Let's look on that. So this is a perfect pairing item. What I want you to know about a perfect pairing item is It doesn't meet the rules, but it has been determined if it is done exactly how the description says, then it'll be all right. But it's still a 0 on the weight loss meter. You know, Captain Crunch is not the best for weight loss. But if you did want Captain Crunch, it says all Captain Crunch cereals work with egg whites, Kroger Carb Master, or fat-free vanilla. Do not eat it dry. You can improve the nutrition of this meal by adding 1 tablespoon of hemp flakes. Do you see how that gives you any information that you need down there in the description? This website is brilliant. You know what's so brilliant is I spent $99 and I got myself all this information and didn't have to figure it out myself. Hallelujah. Okay. But if you're an almond milk person, you would only do that with phase 1 cereals. Okay. Okay, Lynn wants me to put on approved bread. So let's click on breads right here. So we have a whole list of approved breads. Now, when you're doing breads, I'm just going to give you another Kim tip. I'm not going to do any energy carb breads. It's just not happening because then there's so many fibrous carb breads. So I've clicked on breads. There's a lot in here. Now, do you see this little number here? This is that weight loss meter number that also shows up on the description. If you want to try a bread or you want to add this to your favorites, you just click this heart and it will add it to your favorites, which can be found right over here. Okay, so to find the best breads, see this weight loss meter right here? You got a -3, a little ball, you got your slider bar, got a little ball, and got a +3. Your weight loss meter goes from a -3 to a +3. 0 right in the center, not going to help you, not going to hurt you. Positive numbers would be better for either maintenance or ever so often. It won't cause you to be out of EFB, but if you're doing them a whole bunch, you won't see the results that you want either. Negative numbers are better for weight loss. So let's slide this little bar down here, and I'm going to slide it down to -2, -3 so we can see the best breads. You have to hit the set button after that, and it's going to regenerate our list. Let's see. Deanna, Deanna, when I talk so much and then y'all ask questions, I don't know what you're talking about. So can you get what anywhere else other than the Shibby store? Tell me what the word is and I'll answer. Missy, not on the honey. Not on the honey. Honey is not approved. Okay. Especially if you're weight loss mode. So I'm going to come back to this question, Missy, in a minute on the smoothies. And then let's see, G butter. Yeah, you could probably buy G butter on Amazon. I don't know. I've never seen it out in a regular grocery store. But Missy, hang on. I'll show you some smoothie recipes. Okay. And then Lynn actually wanted to know if you could put G butter on approved bread. I would not do that. It's good enough by itself, and less bread is always best. So no, Lynn, I wouldn't do that. You could get nuts and more peanut butter. That stuff is awesome. You can put it on approved bread, but I would not do the G butter on approved bread. Now, if you want to ask that in the Shibboleth Fixed It group, Lynn, and see if Kim Shibboleth maybe gives you a different answer, then she's our food guru. She might do that. Okay, so let's look at these breads again and real quick, mine as well. And then we're going to show some smoothies to Missy. Okay, so you see how we got -2s and -3s? And then I just go down here and I heart all the things that I like. In the beginning, I ate a whole bunch of these little pita breads, Joseph's. Funny thing is, I wasn't even eating bread before Shibboleth. If you're not a bread eater, please don't add it back, okay? Because it's really not best. Less bread is best. We have it on the program because it makes the program sustainable and we find the ones that work. So if we click right here, see how it says it's a category 2? So that's how you're going to find breads and find the best breads. If you scroll down here, typically this is member entered. This is not Shibboleth entered. So people can find that at Ingles, Walmart, and Publix. So 6 people confirmed that, 8 confirmed that, 4 confirmed that. So that's what all that is, but that's member entered data. All right, so let's look at some smoothies for Missy. We're going to go into this green tab. I hope y'all love this. I mean, love showing this website because I want y'all to get in here and dig in. And this is what I did in the beginning. I looked up everything. Okay, so we are in the um, food library. I mean, the recipe library. You where it says green smoothie recipes? Let's just click it. There's some green smoothies right there. But let's just put in the word smoothie. So there's all those smoothies right there. Good, Lynn. I'm glad. I love it. I love it. And I understand the literally. I understand that. I do. So, Missy, see all these right here? This is just smoothies because smoothies can be very um, uh, blood sugar elevating. People think, oh, smoothie is so good. Let me put all this in there. And they don't even know it's hurting them, not helping them. So you can do that. But what I'm going to do real quick for Debbie and for Missy, I'm going to pop over to the dashboard. Once you have finished the fast track laps and you can access this instructor page right here, this, well, normally my videos are right here. It looks like Missy Barrett's journal was popped into the journal video, but anyway, we can put it right here. My normal Shibby show is right there typically, okay? And then a recent class is going to be updated there. My blog is going to be there. And then Missy, if you click right here, I pulled out all of the smoothie recipes that use hemp protein powder and put it in one document. So you might want to print that because then your daughter and you can make some smoothies for her that are Shibboleth approved. So there's a couple of other things like these are blueberries, muffins, but they got into this document because this document was focused on hemp powder. So there's some hemp powder in those. And then there's a little fruit salad that shows you how to have a fruit salad with some hemp powder. But most of these things are smoothies. Yeah, so we'll flip through there. But anyway, that's that. I hope y'all had fun. I hope that you enjoyed tonight and work your way through the fast track laps. And if you did not join the fast track challenge, let me show you that real quick because it starts tomorrow morning and it goes through Sunday night. But when you go to group challenges, I clicked right here. I clicked on this orange thing over to the left. Group challenges popped up and you click on fast track. And then to accept the one that starts tomorrow, you click right there. Now, only one person is accepted. I want some more to accept. Y'all go ahead and do that. Go in there and click accept. Even if you're not brand new, you can click that button, okay? Totally fine. And just participate because we know participation is a lot of what we do. Good, Missy. I'm glad that you're excited. Okay, Deanna wants me to find Carb Quick. Yeah. Okay, so Deanna, I'm going to click on the resources. I'm going to click on the recipe.
While that's generating, I saw messages over here. Robin, you're so sweet. Awesome. I'm glad you'll be back. Yes, y'all are awesome.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna do this a different way. I'm gonna go into the food library instead of the recipe library, Deanna, because I'm gonna look for Carb Quick. Watch this, y'all. This is amazing. So this is the food she's wanting to know that recipes revolve around. So I'm going to come to that one item in the food library. I got all my details about it. I scroll down. Look, those are all the recipes that have Carb Quick in them. There are 6 pages or more. There you go, Deanna. They're right there. Now, when y'all pull this up and you look at this, the weight loss meter for that particular item is listed there. How many people have liked and made this item is right there. And if anybody has rated that recipe, it's right there too. Yes. Wow is right. Wow is right. So if you're curious about recipes that go with a particular food and you want to know, they're all linked right there in that food item in the food library. All right. Well, I love teaching this, but what I love even more is seeing your results and seeing your success. That is what makes me happy. So I want to, you're welcome, Janet. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad. So we're going to hop off for tonight, but just know that you are prayed for by the Shibboleth team, and we want the best results for you. We really, really do. This is going to help lots of people with either weight loss, diabetes, and other health issues. All right. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. Y'all come back tomorrow night. That's right, Deanna. Come back tomorrow night. Bye, everybody.